and $5 million at a dinner tonight in Beverly Hills at the home of a real estate developer. Tomorrow, the president is set to take in $3 million at a breakfast in Los Angeles and another $4 million during a lunch in San Diego.
Fox's John Decker at the White House. America's listening to Fox News.
Our family caring for yours. Those 5 words speak volumes about what you can expect at Twin Lakes Regional Medical Center. Compare your hometown hospital to virtually any across the state, and you will find we offer world-class technologies and comprehensive healthcare solutions far exceeding your expectations. But equally important to what we can do is how we do it. The hometown touch, the personal care. Set us apart and leave you on the road to recovery and restoration with a new sense of trust and confidence. Twin Lakes Regional Medical Center.
In the Army National Guard, family means everything.
Our parents, they were really supportive that all 5 of us would join. I got my education because of the Guard. I got to travel a little bit and experience a whole different culture. It helped me get my job, it helped me pay for my house.
Serving part-time in the Army National Guard instills pride that you and your family will share. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn more about part-time service. Sponsored by the Kentucky Army National Guard. Aired by the Kentucky Broadcasters Association and this station.
Did you know that experts estimate that 80 to 90% of disease is stress-related? Massage can help by lowering your blood pressure, increasing circulation, reducing fatigue, and increasing energy. Call Renee Smith at 270-505-5463 to set up your appointment for a therapeutic massage today. Renee also offers gift certificates and is conveniently located on Elizabethtown Road in Litchfield. 270-505-5463.
Good morning. This is Kurt Scott, minister at Caneyville Christian Church. Join us this week for Sunday School at 10, followed by worship services at 11 and 6. And now, a minute of vision with Dr. Roger Patterson.
3rd and 22. This is Roger Patterson with a minute of vision for life. I can never figure out why there isn't a play for 3rd and 22 beyond the draw play. For many teams, the draw is so predictable. Even the broadcasters know that on 3rd and 22, the offensive coordinator is going to call a run play. After it gets 7 yards and the punt team comes on, the commentator says, well, they don't have a play to go 22 yards. When I hear that, I think, throw the ball, take a shot downfield, throw deep. Why accept defeat when you have a world-class receiver and a grown man who can throw the ball 70 yards? I can't fathom it. Let's consider our ways when our backs are against the wall. Remember whose team you're on and his love towards you. When Christ is in your corner, take a shot downfield. Romans 8:35 says, who shall separate us from the love of Christ? So tribulation, distress, persecution, or famine? No, thanks be to God, he gives us the victory.
You've been listening to Dr. Roger Patterson with A Minute of Vision, a ministry of Vision for Life Radio at visionforlife.org.
Fox Sports Trending now.
On Monday Night Football, the Browns get their first win of the year down to the Jets 23-3. Cleveland quarterback Baker Mayfield hit wide receiver Odell Beckham Jr. on a short pass in the third quarter. Beckham Jr. then took it 89 yards for the key touchdown of the game for the Jets. They're now down to third-string quarterback Luke Falk. He had to replace Trevor Siemian, who left in the second quarter with an ankle injury. Siemian was starting in place of Sam Darnold, who's out with mononucleosis. Speaking of quarterbacks and injuries, Saints star Drew Brees done for 6 weeks after surgery on his thumb. Ben Roethlisberger, the Steelers, out for the rest of the season after surgery on his throwing elbow. The Steelers made a trade last night, acquiring defensive back Minkah Fitzpatrick from the Dolphins in exchange for a first-round pick next year. Fitzpatrick was the Dolphins' first-round pick last season. In baseball, the Cardinals beat the Nationals 4-2. It was the Cubs over the Reds 8-2, and the Brewers beat the Padres 5-1. I'm Eddie Garcia.
We are Fox Sports.
K105 Weather is brought to you by the 3 Grayson County locations of the Sicilian Bank.
Twin Lakes weather.
Record high this afternoon is 96 degrees. Forecast for now to stay just below that at 92. Makes a big difference, right? But the air coming from the north and northeast actually will allow for a nice little breeze later on today. It's going to stay dry. Plenty of sunshine tonight. We drop back down into the 60s and mid-70s. Back to the 90s again tomorrow. The Way 3 News Storm Tracking Team. I'm meteorologist Brian Good.
Don't stop me now. Don't stop me. 'Cause I'm having a good time. Having a good time. I'm a shooting star leaping through the sky like a tiger, defying the laws of gravity. I'm a racing car passing by like Lady Godiva. I'm gonna go, go, go. There's no stopping me. I'm burning through the good time. I'm having a ball. Don't stop me now. If you wanna have a good time, just give me a call. Don't stop me 'cause I'm having a good time. Don't stop me yes, I'm having a good time. I'm gonna make a supersonic woman of you. Don't stop me, don't stop me, don't stop me. Hey, hey, hey! Don't stop me, don't stop me. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Don't stop me, don't stop me. Have a good time, good time. Don't stop me, don't stop me.
This is In the Know for Tuesday, September 17, the 260th day of 2019. There are 105 days left in the year. Good morning, MV, guiding you through In the Know at K105. On Litchfield's Country Station, 103.9 The Moose, live online at K105.com, via the Apple and Android smartphone app, using the SoundCloud or iTunes podcast. The hashtag is In the Know. We're also on Facebook Watch, live at YouTube, and on Periscope as well. Coming up today, we update you on the latest news headlines from around the community, the county, the Commonwealth, and the country. We will ask why fall is such an exciting time for some people. We'll try and solve that old dilemma. We will tell you about a Bridezilla. We'll tell you about good news for Netflix users, and we will have today's water cooler question. We have a huge prize up for grabs today. That and a whole lot more coming up here on In the Know. Settling into my left, rolling Mach 9 with her hair on fire, is my beautiful wife, the beautiful girl. It's Beach. Good morning, sweetheart.
Good morning.
How you doing?
I'm good.
I've got a story that I'm trying to get to later in the show today that will appeal to speed readers.
Oh, okay.
For people who like to consume high level of books but want to do it at an even faster level, which sounds like something that might appeal to you, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I would excel.
You do read extremely fast. She's the pride of Pumpkin Center, the heiress to the great mini burger fortune. She's Vera Wang's arch nemesis and the professional bargain hunter's woman of the year. She's Misty Embry Thomas. Hey. How's Misty?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm doing well. I was passing by the studio earlier, and I heard you talking about some home tips, like things to do around the house. Was it specifically to fall? Like as fall arrives, or were these just general around the house?
Winterizing your house.
Winterizing your house, getting ready for the cold season. You know, one that maybe you got to this one and I just missed it. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Sanitize your remote controls.
We did not, but that is a great tip, especially when you visit someone else's temporary home, like a hotel room.
Yeah, absolutely, because that's the hidden place. If you're feeling a little under the weather, there's a good chance, and you think, well, wait a minute, I've been washing my hands, I've been
Yeah.
There's a good chance the remote control could figure into the equation of what might be making you sick. A recent study found that remote controls were among the dirtiest surfaces in a home. And when was the last time you cleaned yours? When you think about it, you, both of you, but especially you, have these alcohol prep pads that you use on everything. How often do you get to the remote controls? Probably not very often.
Not often.
So we should do that when we can to get rid of all the other. And then you can get back to guilt-free Netflix binge watching. You don't have to worry about it. Like, could my remote control be making me sick? That's right. Makes it better. Hey, gonna feel a lot better today. It's like 5 degrees cooler than yesterday. The high still 91, of course, but maybe the air isn't so humid and we'll feel just a little bit better. 92, slightly cooler today. Partly cloudy, 68 tonight. Look for some frog overnight. A little bit of patchy frog, and then tomorrow partly sunny, 94. If you're wondering, warm temperatures through the weekend. Best chance of rain is Monday, and highs should be in the 80s next week. Well, sure, fall arrives.
Perfect. Right on time.
Got to get into the 80s for fall, right? Absolutely.
We hope so.
I have been a little bit smirky when I said it didn't make me laugh. And it didn't make me mad. It did make me smirk. You know my smirk. I have, like, smirk is kind of my go-to facial expression. Is it not?
Oh, yeah, it is.
Right? Where the corner of the mouth goes up like...
Right.
Smirky. So this Kavanaugh thing is making me smirk because the New York Times has had they've had 2 stories in 2 days, but the second of the 2 stories, or at least the revision to the first story, is somewhat telling. Okay, here's what it says. In the follow-up to the New York Times piece about Brett Kavanaugh, it says, the female student in the latest claim declined to be interviewed and that friends said she doesn't recall the episode. Well, now that's a whole nother kettle of fish.
Wait a minute.
Let's see. So that is the, correct me if I'm wrong.
Sure.
You know a little about journalism, and I feel like I do as well. Is that not the center of the story? So I know a little bit about biology as well.
Sure.
In any cell structure, you have to have a nucleus
Yep.
that the rest of the cell revolves and is constructed around. And if the nucleus doesn't exist, the cell collapses and ceases to exist, right?
Correct.
Is that piece of information not the nucleus of the entire story?
Not only is it the nucleus, but it's revealing that someone made it up.
Yeah. And then planted
Sold it.
Yeah,
Right.
right. Sold it to the New York Times as a thing.
Who published it, then vetted their source and went, oh, never mind. She doesn't want to be interviewed. We got the cart before the horse. And oh, look at that. There is no horse.
They may escape the lawsuit of Covington Catholic student.
Sadly.
But I'm not so sure that they would escape this one if he decided that's what he wanted to do.
Well, they revealed themselves to be aligning themselves with the left instead. And that's what's dangerous about media. You cannot align yourself. Now, if you want to be a political analyst, that's fine. But if you're going to be a journalist, you've got to be unbiased, just like you're asking our Supreme Court justice to be. You have to write the story for what it is, leave out your adjectives, take off your spin, give all the information, and vet your sources. And if you can't do that, then get out of the business. But I am sick to death of having to watch 3 and 4 news stations a day to get an entire story. They all are doing it, and I'm worn out with it, and it's destroying America.
You forgot the key tenet of liberalism. There's room for all ideas and schools of thought unless you disagree with theirs.
Right.
Okay, don't forget. That's kind of a key thing.
It's exhausting.
Everyone is accepted, everyone is included unless you disagree. And then you're vilified. Also, the United Auto Workers continue their strike against GM plants. They say talks continue, but they've not reached a resolution. Someone estimated that they've solved 2% of the contract.
Well, that's better than none.
Well, we got to only 98 percentage points to go before we might have something resolved.
The cup is filling up, right? Don't know that it's halfway full, but
I think you've got a drippy faucet. You know, one of those annoying drip faucets overnight. That's the speed in which it's moving.
You know what some people call that? Chinese torture.
Yes, that is a level of torture. Sad story out of Falls of Rough this morning. Last night, about 10:30, Grayson County Sheriff's Office, Falls of Rough Fire, and Grayson County EMS responded to Highway 110, the 2300 block, to a single vehicle accident. First responders found a heavily damaged Hyundai Elantra off the road and down a steep embankment. It flipped onto its top. Further investigation revealed the male driver was deceased. The man was pronounced dead at the scene by Deputy Coroner Larry Holman. All of the details are not being released pending next of kin notification at this time. Also coming out of the news cycle from yesterday, the Grayson and Hardin County Democratic parties have selected a nominee to run for the remainder of former 18th District Representative Tim Moore's term. Becky Miller of Litchfield has been chosen to run in the special election scheduled for November 5, which is the same day as our general election. The 18th District covers all of Grayson County and a portion of Hardin County. After serving more than a dozen years, Moore resigned last week. Now, Becky Miller is a retired educator. She spent 18 years teaching in the Grayson County elementary school classrooms before spending the last 9 years of her career as an assistant principal at Grayson County Middle School. So now we have that lineup is set. We have a matchup for the 18th District seat in the Democrat Becky Miller and the Republican Samara Heverin. A dynamic matchup when I look at it. Certainly different options. You might remember Becky's dad ran for judge executive a couple of decades ago. She friends with her socially, so I understand her passion for the pension issue and the protection of teachers. And when I have a feeling I know what her motivations are going to be as an elected official if she's successful. On the other side of the coin, you have Samara, a young woman who's getting started in politics, but has worked in Senator Paul's office and in the state treasurer's office. And so voters will have a choice between two Grayson Countyans, which is the way that it should be because such a small percentage of Hardin County voters enter into the equation. So I'm not surprised that two Grayson County candidates are there. So I guess they've got 7 weeks to woo voters and decide what's going to happen. Governor Bevin was in Grayson County last night for a private event at Judge Executive Henderson's home, and I know a lot of Republicans were there and heard the governor speak. Samara Hevron was there, of course. Other people who are running those political circles. If I were prognosticating on this special election for this seat, I guess I would have to look and see what things like the governor's race, how the governor's race goes. Probably so goes the special election. In if people are truly unhappy with the governor, we'll find out about it, and probably that seat will be up for grabs. If you're mad at the governor, then you want a Democrat in the seat. Does that make sense? I mean, but this has been a long Republican held seat. Community. The voter registration has for a long time been the majority of Republicans. So I have a feeling that partisanship probably just goes back to what partisanship is. If you're a red voter, I think you go to the polls and you vote for a set of candidates. If you're a blue voter, you go. The only gray area in there would be the teacher faction. If you're a pension holder, you're a retired teacher or a current teacher, even if you've got an R behind your name, you could be in play in this election cycle.
I think the one
Fair?
thing that I think the one thing that's going to be interesting in that faction is that Samara's mother is also an educator.
Huh? Yeah, true.
So it's you've got two people coming to the table seeking this role as the House representative who both have a tremendous vested interest in the pension system. So you may have to look outside of that on what the parties align with politically to really make a decision on the pension, outside of the pension, on who your candidate would be. If you align yourself with staunch conservative Republican views, then you're going to lean red. If you're looking more towards more the views on the other side, pro-choice, then you're going to lean more towards the blue. But I would hate to say that Samara doesn't have the same vested interest when her mom is still an educator for Grayson County with the pension issue. I think both of them care about that pension issue.
Absolutely. And then I would have to start to look for other delineating factors,
Right.
like what does operating in the Rand Paul sphere for some period of time, what does that do to firm up your political ideology? When you work in state government for a while, what does that do? So obviously it's a balancing act. I would also like to point out that completely not surprised at the Democratic Party's choice in Becky Miller is that I think she's long been considered someone who would be a party leader and someone who would serve Democrats and communities well should she be elected to a leadership position, and now she's decided to step into the ring. So I mean,
Well, and I think
choices. It's good to have choices.
When you look at Becky, she served on our hospital board for 8 years, so she's also bringing that piece to the equation too. So I want people to get outside of the pension issue and look at your candidates, because we have people so polarized on the pension issue. I want to make for sure that you're really an educated voter and you are aligning yourself with all issues. The pension issue is not the only issue that the state has right now.
The city of Litchfield met in their bi-monthly meeting last evening at City Hall. Mayor Rick Embry announced the city will remit $200,000 to the Thomason Byway expansion project. The City Council and Grayson County Fiscal Court had previously voted to approve each body donated $200,000 to the project, which is a drop in the bucket compared to the $20 to $23 million they expect the project will take. But Embry said the $200,000 will be used to begin purchasing property where the byway will be extended from Westlake Drive to near the 1500 block of Highway 54. It's about 2 total miles. It seems like further to me when you think about from where the byway ends on South Main Street on over to 54 would only be 2 miles.
Right.
It seems further than that if you go through town and you go out 54 to that area. So council members are apparently on board with that. They say it'll improve traffic flow and safety coming out of Scotty's and future designs, and rediverting some of that large truck traffic through town should enhance safety, efficiency, connections as well. It's expected that entire project will take about 4 years, but it's good that there's now money being invested in order to acquire property. That's a good sign. They typically don't do that until they're ready to move forward. Also, the city council voted last night to amend an ordinance that requires the city attorney to reside in the Litchfield city limits. With city attorney Denny Fentress retiring the end of this month, the move will allow, this is in quotes, so I assume that's what they said, more options as they search for Fentress's replacement. I'm confused by how defining something to city limits would make more options.
Well, I'm a little bit confused on, so is it saying they're amending it that they can only hire someone inside the city limits, or that's been the ordinance and they're amending it that they can reach outside of city limits?
That's a good...
And I guess I need to know, does Denny Fentress reside in Litchfield? I don't think he does, right? Am I confused?
I'm not certain. I couldn't
So
say.
I'm a little bit confused on...
If they're broadening the search, it certainly would provide more options.
Right.
So that would be...
If they're narrowing it, you have to live in city limits, then that doesn't make any sense to me.
Right. Seems more restrictive to me. So
Absolutely.
opening up would be okay. I can tell you for a long time, as a Litchfield planning commissioner, Tim Butler out of Nelson County, who's a planning and zoning expert, was our legal counsel to the Litchfield Planning Commission and had always served us very, very well. And so Tim also retired, and then some roles got combined. So I don't think it's a bad thing for hired legal counsel to come from outside your immediate area if they're the best option, if they're the best candidate.
Well, you know what? I think that our public servants should come from outside so that there's no political games being played. You know how I say that
yeah, well,
you should have to attend my child's baseball game and I'll attend your child's. That way there's no high emotions involved. There's just true.
Like you hire an attorney from Switzerland.
Nonpartisan.
Switzerland's always neutral.
Yes.
Yeah. Got it. All right.
Just be France.
Sheriff Chaffins is warning citizens about a phone scam being perpetrated here in the area. He says his office has received multiple complaints regarding phone calls from Microsoft, IRS, or FBI. Other agencies or companies claiming the intended victim owes the scammer money. The scam artist then threatens the person with arrest if he or she doesn't pay. Sheriff Chaffins says sometimes the call is a recording, but other times the call has been placed by the actual scam artist. He reminds citizens do not give any personal information over the phone, hang up immediately, or you can give them the sheriff's office number and say, if you'll call this number, they'll pay you. Right?
Call 911.
Oh no! Give them don't give them that one. Give them one they might believe.
I would love the scammers to call 911.
It was announced yesterday that Rough River Dam State Resort Park will soon receive nearly $4 million from the state for upgrades and improvements. Governor Bevin announced in April that $50 million would be earmarked for infrastructure projects and other improvements to state parks around Kentucky. Officials said the money will address the most critical needs within the park system, including improvements to wastewater treatment facilities, roof repair, replacement, utility, and communication systems, as well as other upgrades. Rough River will get about $3.7 million for infrastructure improvements. First person to like that on Facebook today was Congressman Brett Guthrie. Good.
Yay.
You'll remember the famous story of the chamber dinner last year. We're rolling up on the 1 year anniversary of that.
It's this Thursday. We're very
When
excited.
Congressman Guthrie had to use the third tree to the left. If you'll recall. He was still telling that story in October, by the way. So good to know we're getting some upgrades. I don't know. I still wonder if we'll see $3.7 million. By that, I mean, not that the upgrades won't be completed.
Right.
To the eye. Like, will the eye see $3.7 million in upgrades, or are these things that are unseen that need to be resolved?
Yeah. Infrastructure or curtains.
Volunteers are being sought to serve on the Citizen Foster Care Review Board in 22 counties, including Grayson County. The board consists of court-appointed volunteers to review the cases of children in foster and other out-of-home care and make recommendations to state courts and the Kentucky Cabinet for Health and Family Services on behalf of children. If you go to K105.com today, you will find a link there where you can click through and find more information on how how you can become involved, how the Foster Care Review Board works, and what role you may play into it. I don't want to share the detail with you this morning, but if you're interested, there's where you find the information. What else do you need to know about? The University of Kentucky reports record first-year enrollment. The University of Kentucky is reporting a record number of first-year students enrolled in the fall semester. President Eli Capilouto says the school's first-year class totals 5,396, which is 319 more students than last year. The state's flagship university says there's greater diversity in the current first-year class. There are also greater numbers of Kentucky residents and transfer students in the new class. They've been doing a lot of construction, especially in housing, on the campus over the last few years, so finally they are attracting increasing numbers. I was watching Saturdays in the South last night, which is talking about the history of the Southeastern Conference and talking about how things like at I think it was Auburn University, over a period of 4 years, they went from 300 students to 5,000 students because of the success of the football program and other things that were there. So all those things go into the mix. We got to get to a break. We'll come back. Plenty more on the way here on In the Know.
At Litchfield Pediatrics, we don't just love our community, we love yours too. Serving surrounding counties from Warren to Hardin, our growing network of physicians and professionally trained staff provide the best in pediatric care. Now offering new online appointment requests, available 24/7 and can be accessed by visiting our Facebook page. Give us a call at 270-259-5641 or stop by our new facility located at 901 Avenue. Litchfield Pediatric Care.
Today's successful small businesses are lean, portable, and focused. If you're running your own business, you need to stay in tune to your customers, vendors, and employees. That doesn't leave much time for processing payroll and reporting, much less the overall performance of your business. The firm of Buckles, Travis, and Hart has a full offering of services for small businesses. Payroll processing, tax liability, unemployment, and financial reporting, just to name a few. Think of them like a built-in business manager, but they don't get sick and they don't ask for time off. Call or contact today to help get your business focused across the board. Buckles, Travis, and Hart, 270-259-5604, GraysonCPAs.com.
KU presents the top 3 reasons to drive electric. Number 1, awesome range. Today's electric vehicles average 200 miles per charge. Number 2, a better bargain. EVs are about $1,000 less to operate annually. That's like paying 85 cents a gallon to fill up. And number 3, convenience. If you plug in every night at home, you'll wake to a full charge every morning. Plug into even more reasons to make the switch at lge-ku.com/EV.
A routine is a good thing to have. And sometimes a routine is a good thing to break. Take a break. Start your morning at McDonald's. Mix and match a sausage McMuffin with egg or bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit for just $4 until 11 a.m. Because if you don't deserve a morning that's a little easier and a lot tastier, who does? Price and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with combo meals. Single item at regular price. Tax extra.
The newest, fastest version of Wi-Fi is now officially available. The Wi-Fi Alliance, the organization that oversees implementation of the Wi-Fi standard, is now out with Wi-Fi 6 that includes a bunch of new technologies that offer faster speeds, longer range, reduced battery consumption, and greater security. Apple's iPhone 11s will be Wi-Fi 6 compatible. News aggregation app Smart News is offering a new way for people to step out of their comfort zone. A news from all sides option allows users to see articles about a specific news event sorted into 5 groups, ranging from most liberal to most conservative. The feature was created for readers who might want to see other points of view, but could be overwhelmed by an online search. Trek is out with a new lineup of electric bikes called Allant Plus that features 10 different e-bikes, ranging in price from $3,000 to $6,000. The new bikes have a better motor, are lighter, and offer less resistance than previous generations for a more natural ride feel. Tech Report, Larry Olson.
Today is International Country Music Day.
Patsy Cline to you.
Established in the 1950s to promote country music and to unite its fans all over the world. This week, KET has had a special. Ken Burns produced a documentary. It's cut up into seasons and episodes, but they started that this week. I've not seen it, but I know that it's been on, so if you're interested in that, you can catch that on KET. It's also American Citizenship Day today, also known as U.S. Constitution Day or I Am an American Day, focusing on the rights and responsibilities. A lot of times we're quick to talk about the rights. Sometimes we want to gloss over the responsibilities. It's like, well, I mean, rights.
Well,
sure.
sometimes we
about the
think
rights.
things are rights that aren't rights.
True. Commemorating the date in 1787 when the Constitution was signed in Philadelphia, which is the oldest working constitution in the world. It is Monte Cristo Day today. So what? French toast with turkey.
Ham, bacon.
Yeah, sliced turkey with different types of cheeses.
And then it deep fried. Don't you then deep fry it?
I thought that's where the French toast came from.
I've
right?
seen some that say they then deep fry the whole
Bread
I
dipped
don't
in
know.
egg. Then maybe you panini press it. You do the French
Maybe.
toast and then you panini press it to get the cheeses to melt.
Maybe you fry it like a pan. I don't know.
I thought
I've
at one
never
point in
had
time
one.
it had jelly or something on it, and I'm like, it's just no. I mean,
No.
that stuff on regular bread might be okay, but I don't know. It's just too much. I can't do it. But I will settle for Apple Dumpling Day. Today is Apple Dumpling Day. Don't forget the ice cream.
Isn't there an apple dumpling gang?
Uh-huh.
Is that Strawberry Shortcake?
No, it was a movie.
Okay.
Movie was the Apple Dumpling Game. Was it Don Knotts? Was he in the Apple Dumpling Game? Maybe.
Feels
If there were
familiar.
only a place we could turn to find out. Why? So fall is on the way, right? Just a few days away.
Well, if
from
you say
the
so.
Official beginning. I didn't say the temperature would be fall-like. I said the calendar is going to say that fall is going to arrive. So it begs the question, why are people so obsessed with fall? A certain group of people, including
That's me.
her over there, she's got her fall colors on already. She changed clothes to change into fall colors.
I wear these all the time.
She's got a
I wear
whole
this shirt all the time.
wooden army of fall things.
But to be clear, you had a tangerine color with white and
did.
like a mint green on first
I did.
today.
And then I had a tan.
Yes, and then you had a tan, which is earthy, getting closer to
Yeah,
fall,
yeah.
and now you've ended up with brown and orange and a little beige or
Well,
tan.
I mean, after our cruise, I gained about 5 to 7 pounds.
And that's
so
perfect.
the first two.
I'm not challenging on why. I'm
happy
saying you're
about how
looking
it looked.
fall-like with your attire today. But you do love fall, do you not?
I do love fall.
So why do you think that is?
I have no idea. I love the colors. I like that the temperatures. I like
The American love for the autumnal months is based on some interesting psychological phenomena.
Oh, good.
Part of your love for fall, you broadly, not you specifically, is likely rooted in culture. It's in America, it's a season with two holidays, Halloween and Thanksgiving, that are important features of the calendar and are both either uniquely American, Thanksgiving, or celebrated in the United States in ways that they aren't in the rest of the world. We do Halloween completely different than the rest of the world. That's part of it. Other elements of fall are more universal, like autumn foliage, the change. You get to see the transformation in front of you. There are also research to suggest that your reaction to cooler temperatures in a more positive way because of biological reasons makes you feel more comfortable. You've been wearing your sweater all summer because it's been hot and humid, and now the temperatures adjust into where you're just a little more comfortable. In fact, fall, for that reason, is suggested as a season of love because you're more likely to get close to another person when the temperatures are a little cooler.
Body heat.
That's right. So you get, sit around the campfire so I think they say that's why people like fall so much.
So kumbaya. That's what you're trying to say.
Sort of like that. But do you buy any of that?
I do. But I think some of it for me is my mom always made a big deal out of fall and Halloween. We always carve pumpkins together. So it's kind of a childhood thing for me.
Nurture over
Yeah,
nature.
Yeah. Yeah. And then don't forget Misty's favorite hashtag. It's fall, y'all.
Oh, Lordy.
A Missouri.
Can we stop with if I had a choice to get rid of one thing today, pumpkin spice or the word y'all, I would get rid of y'all.
Me too.
Okay.
Yes. Thank you.
I will campaign.
Fair enough.
Two out of
campaign with
3
you.
ain't bad. That's the campaign I'm going to campaign this fall.
A Missouri woman is fighting to keep 3 monkeys she claims have provided her emotional support for years. Texanne McBride Tian, there's a good name, may lose possession of the animals after a neighbor in a suburb of St. Louis spotted one monkey outside roughly a month after the lady had moved in. Now, here's where I have to start to have questions. Well, wait, I have many questions, and I have had many questions all along. But there's a difference in this headline that I'm getting hung up on. So one support monkey won't do the trick.
Well,
right?
because it needs to sleep too. So
So we can have a monkey around the clock.
Right.
We can have
8-hour
we can
shifts.
have a woke monkey around
yes.
the clock.
I mean, that makes sense, right?
I'm not going to claim that this lady doesn't have PTSD. I don't know her, and I don't know her condition.
Right.
I do know a little about medicine.
Mhm.
I went to WebMD one time.
Oh, I'm there all the time. Just ask me.
So I can't claim she doesn't have PTSD. But what I am wondering is, what's the magic formula? I understand doctors do dosages, right? Say, okay, take one of these at night before bedtime. Take one with food at breakfast, right? I understand like that. What physician sat down and said, take 3 support monkeys?
and train them to sleep on different schedules.
Right.
Sam,
one support monkey will not do it.
Can you put the picture of the monkey back up? Because I have one question about the monkey in the picture. Is this the actual? Okay.
This can't be the actual monkey.
Is that monkey wearing dentures on the bottom?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's a set of dentures, right?
I don't know.
I don't know much about monkeys. I don't know. That's not animals that I'm used to.
One little monkey jumping on the bed.
That's right.
That's the only one. That's how I know monkeys.
What if it doesn't? If it doesn't work, right? If her conditions to PTSD don't subside, does she call back to the doctor and say, "Doc, can you up my dosage of monkeys?"
Well, are monkeys like cats? I mean, cats have their own personality, and you can't trust them. They're sketchy. So is it like start with 3 monkeys and figure out the trustworthy monkey?
Well, and are you even supposed to have monkeys?
Apparently, the neighbor says no.
Didn't Bieber get in trouble?
No, says I, says
Well,
the neighbor.
I know Ross on Friends got in trouble for having Marcel.
Right.
That's right.
Are they different species of monkey?
No, I don't think so. I think they're all the same.
Like, try 3 different kinds and see which monkey works best.
Okay, bookworm over there.
Barrel of monkeys.
Here's something for you, Miss Buckles.
Okay.
There's a new app called 12-Minute App, and its objective is to condense the most important ideas from top nonfiction books into comprehensive 12-minute micro books. And if you get the app every month, you'll get access to 30 new titles that you can read anywhere at any time, internet connection or not. And if you don't feel like reading or even 12 minutes, you can listen to it in audio form. A lifetime subscription right now is a special price of $39.
That's probably worth it. I mean, I don't know how much I would use it.
So my question is,
I don't really read nonfiction.
Right. So you enjoy reading.
I do.
But would you like to have the chaff cut out of it and you only get the wheat?
For nonfiction?
Yeah.
Sure.
You would like the Cliff Notes version of an online app?
Of nonfiction.
Of nonfiction. All right, very good.
But that's the beauty of fiction, are all the details.
Exactly.
It's the story building up. It's the painting with words.
I got it.
Nonfiction, if you can cut it down to 12 minutes, you wasted a whole lot of paper and time.
Amen.
Here's Bridezilla that I bet you hope that you don't meet. A bride tells her guests that they have to spend at least $400 on their wedding gift. She sent out a notice that said, "Hey, everyone, we are all aware that my wedding is coming in October, and I've already sent out the invitations," meaning most of you have already gotten them. But here is our list. There are no exceptions. Here's a list of things that you can bring. You must choose from this list or consult me first. There are no exceptions. Any kitchen-made appliance over $350, any Gucci or Louis Vuitton purses, any clothes over $400, new floor tiles for the entire house. I know this one is a bit of a stretch, but I'd gladly appreciate it. A new car or a new trim for my car, or anything in relation to the car. $400 or more gift cards to any of the following places. Any Korean or Asian beauty products totaling $400 or more. Any high-class paintings or decorations totaling $400 or more. Or a cash gift of $400 or more. I'm expecting everyone to spend at least $400 on the wedding gifts.
Okay. And she's from where?
It doesn't say where she is from necessarily. Okay. It doesn't specify.
She just bought herself a $400 ticket to Tennessee, D.C. And I don't. Anybody who agrees with her or likes her idea, you need to leave America too. You are what is ruining the human race.
Yeah, I think I've got a strategy worked up on how to deal with this particular wedding. I think I'll stay home.
I hope nobody comes. And I hope all our gifts come from the dollar store. Please, God, send her all the spatulas from the dollar store.
We gotta get to a break. Today's water cooler question is coming up. You're going to love this prize. Coming up here on In the Know.
Consumers in Litchfield and surrounding areas are getting smart about the vehicle they're driving by getting customized auto financing, personalized dealer service, and multi-point inspected pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs. What are you looking for in your next vehicle? A vehicle to haul the family around? A sporty car? A heavy-duty truck? Maybe you want to stay within a certain price range and want a financing plan with low monthly payments. At AutoSmart, new inventory is being delivered every week. You'll only find high-quality vehicles that have undergone multi-point inspections on our lot. The knowledgeable AutoSmart team knows all about the vehicles in inventory. They can answer all your questions. Now, all they need to know is what you're looking for. With financing partnerships with every financial institution in the area, they can provide you with a custom financing plan to fit your credit situation and your needs. Get to AutoSmart and get happy with a quality pre-owned vehicle and a customized financing plan. South Main Street in Litchfield, or at autosmart1.com.
Bourbon and Beyond, the world's biggest music and bourbon festival, is even bigger. September 20th, 21st, and 22nd at Highland Festival Grounds at the Kentucky Expo in Louisville with Foo Fighters, Zach Brown Band, Robert Plant, and the sensational Space Shifters. Gerald Hall and John Oates, John Fogerty, ZZ Top, Leon Bridges, and more. Complete lineup of musical artists and celebrity chefs at bourbonandbeyond.com.
For generations, alligators have weathered nature, biological threats, and predators. How do they do this? The answer is in their uncanny DNA. Alligators have one of the strongest immune systems in the animal kingdom. Their fat cells contain the essential oils needed to fight off deadly infection and rejuvenate skin. How can you benefit from the alligator's amazing rejuvenating powers? Cayman oil. Cayman oil is the revitalizing and healing power of the alligator in a bottle. Cayman oil is carefully purified and refined with an added hint of vitamin E and lavender to better harness the alligator's ability to heal worn and damaged skin. Treat dry skin, infections, cuts, burns, scarring, eczema, rashes, muscle and joint pain, and more. Even athlete's foot. It's clinically proven to kill the flesh-eating bacteria MRSA. This really works. We guarantee it or your money back. Go to mycayman.com. mycaimon.com. That's mycayman.com.
Staying connected is important in today's world. Whether it's hearing the news of a new baby in the family or calling work to let your boss know you're running late, phone and internet service keep you connected with your world. At AT&T, we know that some Americans face life every day without the comfort and security of having a phone or internet service. In certain areas, you may be able to reduce your phone or internet bill with a Lifeline discount if you are in a qualifying lower-income household. Additional discounts of up to $25 may be available to those living on federally recognized tribal lands where AT&T offers Lifeline. To find out more about Lifeline and other AT&T products and services, call us at 800-288-2020 or go to att.com/lifeline if you have access to the internet.
Lifeline is a government benefit program, and willfully making false statements to obtain this benefit is punishable by fine or imprisonment and could result in termination of Lifeline service. Lifeline enrollment requires certain eligibility documentation and is non-transferable. Limited to one discount per household. AT&T services, including Lifeline, are not available in all areas. Other restrictions apply.
K105 Weather is brought to you by Future Designs Building Materials on Quarry Road in Litchfield.
Twin Lakes weather.
Yes, it's going to be another hot afternoon, but a nice breeze from the northeast will hopefully make things feel a bit better outside. It's going to be a dry day, plenty of sunshine, although it's going to be more of a hazy sunshine type of setup today. Temperatures this afternoon, 92 tonight. We drop into the upper 60s, lower 70s. The heat builds up slightly tomorrow with a high of 94. On the way through new storm tracking team, I'm meteorologist Brian Good.
Because you had to be a big shot, did you? You had to open up your mouth. You had to be a big shot, did you?
Did you know if you've had to buy anything online or register or prove that, if you haven't answered the questions, click all the pictures that have a motorcycle in them.
Oh, I know.
Click all the
right?
pictures that have a stoplight in them. CAPTCHA is an acronym. You ever know one that says, do the CAPTCHA phrase? Completely automated public Turing test to tell computers and humans apart. That's what CAPTCHA stands for. Ready? Completely automated public Turing test to tell computers and humans apart. CAPTCHA.
I was not ready. You didn't give me time to respond.
I've got it written down here. I'll give it to you after the show, so you don't have
too
to.
much.
You don't have to remember. So here's what I have been able to do over the last few days. I have curated. Are you ready? I have curated a full set of tickets. 2 tickets to every day of Bourbon and Beyond. 2 tickets Friday, 2 tickets Saturday, 2 tickets on Sunday. Full weekend tickets to Bourbon and Beyond. If you can solve today's water cooler question by calling 270-259-6000, if you've not won in the last 30 days, and you're 18 years of age or older, you qualify. 270-259-6000. 25% of men may be embarrassed to admit they own one of these. A quarter of men may be embarrassed to admit they own one of these. What is it? 270-259-6000. 270-259-6000. A quarter of men may be embarrassed to admit that they own one of these. What is it? 25% of men may be embarrassed to admit that they own one of these. We have 2 tickets to the full weekend of Bourbon and Beyond. 2 tickets Friday, 2 tickets Saturday, 2 tickets Sunday. Hundreds of dollars, right? Hundreds of dollars value.
Oh, yeah, that's 1, 2, 3, probably $400 worth of tickets. And Zach Brown Band will be there on Sunday, so.
Ooh. Hey, new report. We're going to get upbeat, optimistic new track from Adele in November.
I don't know how I feel about upbeat, optimistic.
I guess the sad music is later. Maybe this is what, when she was in the throes of having to get out of the divorce or out of the marriage, she was wanting to be upbeat and optimistic, so that's where her art led her.
But winter, I like to sit and isolate and listen to sad music. You can't take that away from me.
Well, I mean, it was, 4 years ago when we were all wrapped up in Hello that fall? It was over the Thanksgiving, because Saturday Night Live was doing skits about going home,
so
gathering the family and listening to Hello and, Meemaw and Papaw and all that.
It united people when they wanted to argue.
That's right.
Just turn Hello on.
25% of men may be embarrassed to admit that they own one of these. Jeremy, what's your guess?
Man purse?
A man purse is correct,
That was
Mundo.
my first answer.
A merce is what it is.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Hey, congratulations, Jeremy. You're going to Bourbon and Beyond all weekend. I mean, I think they close the gates at night. You can't just sleep there, but
Yeah.
I mean, you can go back every day. So congratulations. Hold on. Have fun. Now, point of order. When I read this question, I kind of snickered and I thought, I don't have a purse. And then I thought, wait a minute.
Yeah, you do.
Is my Mr. Rogers bag? It's really my lunchbox.
No.
No, my
No.
Mr. Rogers bag is a purse.
And I'm not opposed to, listen, I carry 17 bags at all times.
Okay, yeah.
If you've been around me, you've seen it.
Right.
I can't imagine how you all try to get away with just one tiny little folding thing you put in your pocket. Like what?
All right, so historically I'd had more of a briefcase computer bag,
Sure.
multiple pockets, blah blah blah. But then I converted over to a backpack for just my computer. Like my notebook is easy to throw over my shoulder.
Yep.
But then I didn't have a place for papers, lunch, odds and ends, things that arrived here that needed to go home. So it's really a cargo bag. But KET sent it to me, and it's got Mr. Rogers on the outside, and I love it. But
Yeah.
I got to thinking, is this a merce?
It is not a merce.
It's not a merce?
It's not
No.
a merce.
Okay.
It's a
thank
tote
you.
bag.
It is a
But here's
tote
the thing,
bag, but
I do love a Merce.
Okay.
Because I think that men that carry a Merce are very confident.
You're organized
Yes.
and you're ready.
Okay.
I like that. But no, yours is a tote.
So Sam has the side saddlebag thing he carries.
The crossbody?
With, yes. With his
Sure.
notebook and things in it. So you guys have to have, because all of your accoutrements are portable. You have to take your chargers
Especially if
with
you're
you
not
and your
wearing
notebooks
cargo
and-
shorts.
Exactly.
Right?
Bless
I
your
mean, if I
heart.
just wear cargo shorts, I can eliminate a lot of
Throw 'em all
that
in it.
stuff. You know,
Right?
just
a
like
tactical belt.
I jingle when I walk.
I mean, you all over the years have really tried to get out of carrying your own purse.
True.
With all of the things,
True.
the belt with all the extra holders,
Sure.
the tool belt, the cargo pants.
Look at hobos. They had a knapsack over they tied it to a
You
stick.
even put things on your helmets, like your hard hats,
I mean,
drink holders. You've
Flashlights.
tried everything.
struck the flashlight to your
Yes,
forehead. I mean,
See, there's Sam's bag right there. There's Sam's
Right?
bag on the screen.
See?
I like it.
that looks like a Merce.
Yes.
Mhm.
You
It's a nice
can't.
Merce.
You all have made a heroic attempt, but just give in and get the tote.
Medical examiner says Rick Ocasek died of natural causes at 75. Eddie Money had esophageal cancer, and he had to stop taking his cancer treatments, and that's some of what led to him passing away on Friday or so. Christy Brinkley is devastated over her Dancing with the Stars injury, but excited for her daughter Sailor to complete in her place. Christy Brinkley was injured before the show even started last night, and so they called in a substitute, and her daughter will be filling in for her.
I mean, she's what, like 95, and she looks like she's 25. How
Christy
does that?
Brinkley. Yeah, she looks good. She's involved in a lot of different things too. I mean, she's
Yes,
still a
she
real
is.
uptown girl. She's got her own winery and Ghostbusters 2020. Dan Aykroyd confirms that his return to the upcoming sequel. So Dan Aykroyd is on board with the Ghostbusters reboot. And there's some of us in the studio today who continue to lament the fact that both Friends and The Office will be leaving Netflix at the end of the year and finding their way to other digital platforms, right?
Yes.
So he's one of us that are sad.
That's me.
Will it make you happy to hear that all 9 seasons of Seinfeld are coming to Netflix?
Oh, that does make it better.
It doesn't make it okay,
But it makes it
it better, right?
Yes.
So yeah, a Seinfeld will be coming to Netflix for all you binge folks. All 9 seasons, all the yada yada yadaing and Serenity Now that you want can be yours. So we got to get to a break. We'll come back, finish it up for the morning here on In the Know.
If you're not a football fan, you probably don't know about the Griffin brothers, Shaquille and Shaquem. Like a lot of twins, they're inseparable. When they were 8 years old, they made a pact. They promised each other they'd one day marry twins and raise their children together. They also committed to play pro football on the same team. That's a lofty goal for anyone, but the Griffin brothers faced a unique hurdle. Shaquem only has one hand, and that could have held him back. But Shaquem has grit, a good attitude, and a twin brother who never forgot their pact. After high school, Shaquille was offered multiple college scholarships, one of them from the team he dreamed of playing for, the Miami Hurricanes. Instead, he chose the University of Central Florida because they agreed to give his brother a scholarship too. A few years later, Shaquille was drafted into the NFL by the Seattle Seahawks, but no one invited Shaquem to try out. Shaquille asked his team to give his brother a try, and like always, when Shaquem got a chance, he took advantage of it. He made headlines for his bench press while wearing a prosthetic and running the fastest ever 40-yard dash for a linebacker. The Seahawks drafted him. Shaquille and Shaquem Griffin are a beautiful example of the power of family. They challenge each other, they help each other, and through it all, they're committed to each other. To help your family thrive, visit FocusOnTheFamily.com. I'm Jim Daly.
A routine is a good thing to have. And sometimes a routine is a good thing to break. Take a break. Start your morning at McDonald's. Mix and match a sausage McMuffin with egg or bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit for just $4 until 11 a.m. Because if you don't deserve a morning that's a little easier and a lot tastier, who does? Price and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with combo meals. Single item at regular price. Tax extra.
For generations, alligators have weathered nature, biological threats, and predators. How do they do this? The answer is in their uncanny DNA. Alligators have one of the strongest immune systems in the animal kingdom. Their fat cells contain the essential oils needed to fight off deadly infection and rejuvenate skin. How can you benefit from the alligator's amazing rejuvenating powers? Cayman oil. Cayman oil is the revitalizing and healing power of the alligator in a bottle. Cayman oil is carefully purified and refined with an added hint of vitamin E and lavender to better harness the alligator's ability to heal worn and damaged skin. Treat dry skin, infections, cuts, burns, scarring, eczema, rashes, muscle and joint pain, and more. Even athlete's foot. It's clinically proven to kill the flesh-eating bacteria MRSA. This really works. We guarantee it or your money back. Go to mycayman.com. mycaimon.com. That's mycayman.com.
Staying connected is important in today's world. Whether it's hearing the news of a new baby in the family or calling work to let your boss know you're running late, phone and internet service keep you connected with your world. At AT&T, we know that some Americans face life every day without the comfort and security of having a phone or internet service. In certain areas, you may be able to reduce your phone or internet bill with a Lifeline discount if you are in a qualifying lower-income household. Additional discounts of up to $25 may be available to those living on federally recognized tribal lands where AT&T offers Lifeline. To find out more about Lifeline and other AT&T products and services, call us at 800-288-2020 or go to att.com/lifeline if you have access to the internet.
Lifeline is a government benefit program, and willfully making false statements to obtain this benefit is punishable by fine or imprisonment and could result in termination of Lifeline service. Lifeline enrollment requires certain eligibility documentation and is non-transferable. Limited to one discount per household. AT&T services, including Lifeline, are not available in all areas. Other restrictions apply.
The disclaimer sounded like it was for a drug, right?
I was like, that makes me not want to do
I was
that.
waiting for him to say diarrhea.
Yeah.
Like, what?
Cha, cha, cha.
MB's point to ponder for today. Unlimited sushi for life or unlimited tacos for life?
Taco.
You can have it could be any type of tacos, it can be any type of sushi, it can be the quality can be great, the quality can be anything you want. Unlimited sushi or unlimited tacos?
Tacos.
Sushi.
It's Taco Tuesday.
I love tacos,
I hate
but if I had to
sushis.
choose
I hate
between
sushi.
Okay, so here's the only the scope of the last 10 years. If I'm just using that, I'm going to say sushi because I know what it costs to keep our house up in sushi.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Yeah. No, it's a financial burden for you.
It costs next to nothing to keep our house up in tacos.
Yeah. I get that for you.
But in another year or so, the financial requirement to keep the house in sushi going to decrease by about 60%.
Okay.
it's still my preference, though.
It's still your preference? Yeah. Okay. I'm just saying my deliberation, my calculus might be different if I view it 24 months from now
Financially, right.
versus right now.
And if sushi's unlimited for me, oh my goodness gracious.
Yeah.
Because I actually do look at the cost. I do. I know you don't believe that.
Is sushi calorically high in fat and calories, or is it?
I have no idea.
Like if you're eating sushi all day long, are you going to slim down? Or are you going to?
Nope. You've met Asian people, right?
But both. Like, there's Mulan's grandma and there's Mulan. So,
I will say this.
I do love grandma.
Here's the reason that sushi is. Here's why our household sushi budget is so high, is that you have it and then you're hungry again in 90 minutes for more of it.
Oh, you burn it off pretty quickly.
You have to overbuy it to keep you in it.
Oh.
That's my.
I don't have that problem with tacos.
Mm-hmm.
Stuffed.
I really think the worst thing we did was allowing the kid to eat sushi with a fork. If we had forced her to use chopsticks, we could have slowed her down.
See,
We could keep her at bay a little bit.
This is where you all went wrong. You introduced her to more than chicken nuggets and macaroni. I knew we were poor when my kids were little.
All right. Got
Ain't
it.
nobody feeding my kids They think Totino's pizza is a delicacy, right? And pizza rolls, or they are the hors d'oeuvre. I didn't get out of my lane.
Totino's Pizza is premium. Clover Valley is your normal
You
brand.
put a little parsley on top of that, it got fancy at our house.
Season 6 finale of Bachelor in Paradise is on ABC tonight. America's Got Talent, the live finals are on NBC tonight. And the season 11 premiere on the Discovery Channel of the show Bering Sea Gold. I don't know what that is. Your husband probably watches that, doesn't he?
I've not seen him.
He watches a lot of
right now,
Discovery
it's
Channel.
it's a lot of football right now.
Yeah.
So
today's highlight in history, this date in 1987, the city of Philadelphia threw a big 200th anniversary for the signing of the Constitution. In 1787, the Constitution was signed. Heather Whitestone of Alabama was crowned the first deaf Miss America, this date in 1994. A demonstration called Occupy Wall Street began this date in 2011. Are those people still there? They still waiting for their parents to come pick them up?
Yeah, how'd that work out?
Is that where the homeless population grew?
The
so
whole
much?
Brett Kavanaugh saga began a year ago today.
I have never felt so bad for a political candidate.
Birthdays today, Basketball Hall of Fame coach Phil Jackson is 74. Cassandra Peterson, also known as Elvira, Mistress of the Dark, is 68 today. Paul Figg is 57 today. Paul Figg is Mr. Melissa McCarthy.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I like him.
Singer B.B. Winans is 57, the older sibling to CeCe Winans, right? They just started with the A's, and you got Winans, B.B. Winans, CeCe Winans, Dee Winans. E.E., come over here.
It got to McGee then.
Kyle Chandler is 54. Dougie Fresh is 53. Constantine Maroulis is 44. Jimmy Johnson is 44. And NHL forward Alex Ovechkin is 34 today. Gone but not forgotten, J.W. Marriott in 1900. One of my favorite people to go camping with. In fact, I got a very tight circle of people that I'm willing to go camping with. J.W. Marriott is one of them.
Yeah.
Conrad Hilton is the other.
Mm-hmm.
I've only got a few camping friends. Warren Berger was born in this state in 1907. Hank Williams Sr. in 1923. George Blanda in 1927.
Is that why it's Country Day? It's Hank Williams Sr.'s birthday?
Probably. Probably, if you go back to the 50s, that probably is when it was coined.
Mm-hmm.
Would be my guess. Let's go to Chart Toppers.
I'd like to go to Dollywood. It's the prettiest theme park.
You can go to Dollywood. 1960. Sorry, Misty, it's not the Fat Boys, but it is Chubby Checker.
I just listened to my Fat Boys version about a week ago.
And go like this. See, he was doing a promo for Hee Haw there.
Yeah, he was.
Hee Haw.
Mm-hmm.
He said, tune in Saturday at 6 for Hee Haw. I'm a pickin' and I'm a grinning. Let's go to 1969. The Archies went number one with Sugar Sugar.
Sugar.
Bum, 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 bum.
Honey, honey.
Have you still not watched this movie?
You know, I got it. This is so
You're
true.
killing me.
No, I got it out to watch, and my DVD player had been disconnected from my TV, and I'm missing the cable to hook it up. And I'm like, dang it. This was like 3 months ago.
She would drive to Olson's Mercantile and buy you a cable
There's
if you need her
a really
to.
good chance.
Jason set me up downstairs. Now I just have to bring the DVD downstairs. It's going to happen in the next 5 years. I feel it. Like it's in my aura. It's going to be there.
Well, I mean,
it's a strong game.
The show's only 8 years old, so I think that's about right. You got 5 more years.
I bought a glider rocker to put in the room. I can sit there and rock. I'm prepared to watch this movie and all comfort levels taken care of. Got a new popcorn bowl and everything.
Foreigner, number one this date, 1978.
You don't have to read my mind to know what I have in mind. Honey, you ought to know.
You ought to know.
Now you move
Sorry, I had to go live version on you.
so fine.
Take it.
Let me lay it on the line. I wanna know what you're doing after the show.
Now, Records is a fabulous album.
Mm-hmm. It is. Yes.
It is one of the best greatest hits albums.
I love Foreigner.
ever.
Foreigner is a top 5 hair band for me. Like all of their music I love.
Saida Garrett, Michael Jackson, number one this date in 1987.
Your love's got me high. I long to get by. This time is forever. Love is the answer. I hear your voice now. You are my choice now.
Top 20, Top 20 best Michael Jackson songs?
Yeah, it's up there
probably.
for me.
There's so many to choose from.
Yeah, there really are.
2005. Mariah Carey, Shake It Off. All right, so when I saw this one on the chart toppers this morning, I really thought I would put Beach to the test here and do a side-by-side comparison. Mariah Carey, Shake It Off, or Taylor Swift, Shake It Off?
Oh, Mariah Carey.
All right,
oh,
you're
my
going with
goodness
Mariah?
gracious.
Well, I know you don't really care for Mariah Carey
I
either.
don't, but I can't stand Taylor Swift, so then there's that.
Yeah, then there's when you think you dislike somebody, somebody
That's why I
else
asked.
comes along.
I just needed it defined a little more closely. Meghan Trainor, number one in 2014. She's, by the way, is it her that's doing the? I think Meghan Trainor may be doing the reboot 25th anniversary of the Friends theme, by the way. I know that may bother you if you to hear
Well,
that.
I'm not sure.
Interesting.
May be okay, may not be okay.
I think it could be okay.
MB's Prolo Wisdom for today. Are you ready? A friend is someone who, when you've made a fool of yourself, doesn't feel you've done a permanent job. A friend is someone who, when you've made a fool of yourself, doesn't feel you've done a permanent job. MB's Prolo Wisdom for today. Look forward to seeing
Why this works so well in here.
Look forward to seeing you back here tomorrow for another edition of our show. For Misty Thomas, for Beej, I'm MB, and now you're in the know.
Fox News, I'm Chris Foster.